it's Lily. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I would like to talk about sustainability and how you can go green in your own kitchen. So first off, in the kitchen, we tend to waste a lot of water. I would recommend not, if you're going to use the dishwasher, making sure it's completely full before you run it. That way you're going to use less water overall, and it also saves money. If you're hand washing the dishes, don't leave the water running while you're washing them because it uses too much water and it's not very sustainable. And again, it also will save you money doing that. Another tip would be having a compost bin. So you can compost like banana peels or avocado peels. You can throw them in there and compost it. If you have a garden, you can it can help fertilize and give more nutrients in the soil, and it just goes back into the earth. It's a really great way, instead of just throwing it in the garbage where it's gonna rot, you're actually giving it, repurposing it to benefit the soil and your garden. Another tip is when you're grocery shopping, make a list so you're not buying unnecessary items that are going to go bad and expire in your fridge. If you use a lot of a certain food, you can buy it in bulk because it will be cheaper and it uses less plastic. When you can, try to buy things that are in paper packaging rather than plastic. Paper is a little bit more sustainable than plastic. And if you do get plastic, get it in bulk so it uses less. Don't get individually wrapped foods because that uses extra plastic that's unnecessary. When you go to the grocery store, bring your own grocery bag. Sometimes this will save you money too. Some grocery stores give you points for it, or they don't charge you for bags, but it's good for the environment. It wastes less paper and less plastic, and it's just a really easy thing you can do. You can also get mesh bags for produce too, and these are really sturdy. They last forever. Another thing is instead of using paper towels, get some nice cloth towels. It cuts down on your paper use, and these clean just as well. It's really easy to wash them, and they last for a really long time. Another recommendation is obviously getting rid of plastic wherever you can. Water bottles, switch to tin or glass, and that helps with the environment since plastic, some of it can be recycled, but it really can't be, and even the plastic you recycle, a lot of it doesn't even get recycled. It ends up in a landfill, so it's just better to not use plastic or paper when you can. Leftovers. I would recommend making a lot of food and eating leftovers. Make sure you get glass containers or use tin containers rather than plastic, but that's a really great thing to do because you're saving on food waste. A lot of the food that ends up in landfills is actually from our kitchens, food that we let go bad. So if you buy too much produce or you buy things that you're not going to eat and it expires and you throw it away, that's a lot of waste. It's bad for the environment and it's bad for your wallet. So it's just good to know what's in your fridge and have leftovers when you can. Another tip is if you're boiling water, put a lid on top of it. This will help it boil faster so you don't have to use as much heat. And it also helps you eat you can make your food faster. Same with the oven. Using small, if you have a convection, a small oven versus a large one, use the small one. If you're going to use your large oven, make sure you have several dishes that you can use for the oven. And a lot of dishes, if you're just making potatoes or bacon, you don't need to preheat the oven. You can just throw it in there and you can just check on it to see how it's doing. And that saves on heat and electricity, which are cause issues with the environment. Another tip is you can reuse some of your water to water like outdoor plants. So like if you're boiling pasta, you can save the water and you can use it and water your outdoor plants. It contains extra nutrients, so it's actually really, really healthy. Another thing, use metal instead of plastic, so like forks, spoons, knives, straws, metal straws, or if you're like me, just don't use a straw and save even more money. It's really good for the environment. Try maybe use like wood cutting boards rather than plastic ones. Cut down on your plastic use. And then when you do have leftovers, try to store them in glass. Or if you're going to use like aluminum paper, reuse the aluminum foil. Not paper, reuse aluminum. You can keep reusing it and reusing it rather than like just throwing it away after one use. There's also this new option, beeswax paper, which I'm hoping to get for myself one day, but that's a great option. I heard it's biodegradable, it lasts a year. You can wrap up like a cut onion or chopped food to save for later. And those are all great options on trying to be more sustainable and be more green in the kitchen. Even certain appliances, so like if you wanted to invest in a good pressure cooker, that saves like 50% of your time cooking, which means you're going to use less heat and electricity, your food will be cooked faster, and it just saves time. So that is another really good way to help out the environment. So these are just some tips that I use. They're really simple to implement. They're pretty easy once you get into a habit and routine of it. Like, it's really easy. The hardest thing for me is remembering to bring reusable bags to the grocery stores. Sometimes I forget, and so what I do is I leave reusable grocery bags in the car. And so when I go in the car, I always have them there, and I just make sure it stays there so I have it for the next time. But that's my biggest issue that I have with it. But other than that, it's pretty simple. When I started doing this, I thought it would be hard, but it was really easy. And it makes you feel good that you're doing something for the environment. Also, spreading the word to your friends and family and talking about it is really great, because a lot of times they get inspired and they want to do the same thing, and it's like a domino effect, and it just the more people that are involved, the more it helps out. Buying locally, going to farmers markets, growing your own food are also great ideas to help cut back on waste. But yeah, if you thought this video was helpful, like and subscribe, and comment how you try to stay sustainable, or any questions that you have. Thank you very much. See you next week.